Yeah, you like that. Alright. And to the republic, which is is one nation. In the home, with liberty, and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First up this evening is department head updates. I have Chief Flynn behind me.
Okay, John, we'll better have you.
I'm okay going first. Well, Rusty, you want to go first?
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Hi, everybody.
Wow.
So everybody got through. I think I handed them out already. But since last meeting, which was 12/15, we've had 727 calls for service, 11 motor vehicle crashes, 257 motor vehicle stops, and 16 arrests. Same time last year, 645 calls for service, 11 crashes, 260 stops, and 15 arrests. So we're pretty status quo as that goes. By year to date, January 1 to today, we've had 366 calls for service, 9 motor vehicle crashes, 109 stops, and 9 arrests. With year to date in 2025 was 357 calls for service, 7 crashes, 118 stops, and 12 arrests. So again, we're kind of right in there, same where we normally are. Mileages on the cruisers are listed there. Cruiser 1 is 15,376 miles. That's the K9. Cruiser 2 is a 2021 Explorer, 90,876. Cruiser 4 is a 2019 Explorer, is 118,708. And Cruiser 5, our 2023 Explorer, 69,463 miles. We have a PT test scheduled for potential applicants on February 1st. We'll be holding that in the regional high school gym. We've had 7 people, and I feel optimistic about this group. You know, even though the last few times we've done it, we haven't had any good applicants, but for some reason I've got a good optimistic feeling. So hopefully this one pans out and we can find a good qualified applicant out of this group. With that said, Officer DeLuca has successfully completed his field training, and he is out on his own. He's doing well. Just picked up a guy the other night on a parole violation, sent him back to state prison. So he's out there doing good things. Attached is your criminal charges. Basically, it's a breakdown of all the charges we've charged since the last meeting and what those are and the number of charges. And the second page just shows you MD is misdemeanor B, B violation, MA misdemeanor A, felony B, felony A, misdemeanor unclassified, R we don't have, felony unclassified, special felonies. So that's what all those codes mean if you're not aware. So any questions on any of that stuff?
Nothing new. Everything's pretty status quo end of the year. So we're all the thumbs up, getting ready to do our state reports for the year. We send in like all of our recyclable totals, where things go, what they ended up being. Which report we go to state with, and then we have, although we're technically not a closed landfill, we're an inactive landfill, we still fill out what they call a post closure whatever year. So that's just that our water reports are fine and that nothing has statistically changed in what we're doing about it. So it's more procedural than anything, but we fill that out considered. Other than that, not a lot is going on. We finished up good stuff. Sick snow. Salted and cleared and sanitary thing. Fires are down this year, which we suspected would be last year. It's not really less residents. I think it's less commercial. I say that it's things like farm used to bring in, basically 10% of tires. Far fewer huge tires. Last year we did 3 loads. Delayed the 4th load. This year we did 2 loads. We have to go about half full. So that can get what we've done less this year. Under's done well with snow removal, even though it's pushing a much bigger snow pusher than it should be. I think our other pushers did when we were going to pick up. We'll handle that for sure. Make it a lot easier for the operator for sure.
Maggie,
Yeah, busy. Working with Gene Olson, the treasurer, to get the town report, everything ready and reconciled. We got our first draft of our 2024 audit. I did not include it because I've been talking with Tim Green and there's a couple of edits to be made. But we have received that. Changes pending. We should get the letter for the town report as well. And mostly working on getting W-2s, 1099s, final New Hampshire retirement. And all of that done by the end of January. So that's under that.
thank you. Yep,
Last, but not least, for December, for transfer, we did 84. For 911 calls, we did 59 compared to 2024, where we did 66 911 calls and 129 transfers. Total for 2025 was, for December was 143, and total for 24 was at 195. The year we did, 2025, we did 725 911 calls, 1,203 transfers for a total of 1928, compared to 2024, which was 819 911 calls and 1,451 transfers for a total of 2,270. And I did talk to Littleton today. Good. Do I think that's where the shortfall is? Good in the lottery. We're still waiting for trucks, parts for the ladder truck. I was told they were gonna be in last week. I haven't heard from him, so. I'll keep on top of that. And it's not on the, repair guy, it's all on the factory. The inspection report is attached. All the trucks, everything, a lot of trucks seem to be in good shape. We did have, if you're not in the report, we did have a little bit of vandalism up at the sand pit. We lost, I think, tires and something on trailers. Those, we bought those, we won't replace them until spring. Ambulances are in good repair. Fire stats are up for, running smooth. The mutual aid number, I just had this conversation before I came over. The mutual aid number is that went. $24 on fire calls. I think we did like 130 in 24. Last year we did 181. And some of those, we dealt with a lot of stuff during the day that we didn't log. We started logging those, but it's not a huge number that didn't inflate it. That's all I had. Okay.
Will we receive the payments from the other communities that we have contacts with?
Last year, they're all paid.
Right.
I have not heard, we did send out letters in November on what this year's rate was gonna be. We haven't heard anything from them. But we did get payment for all, as a matter of fact, we've been early. They paid a little bit earlier in the year, and then they paid the rest at the end of the year. Which was, that's huge. It's thank you. Yeah. The number of fire calls, quite an uptick over the last few years, isn't it? That is a tremendous uptick. I'll say, it seems so, when I got there, we were right around maybe 70 or 80. Yeah. And we thought that was a good year. Busy. Thank you.
Some really significant mutual aid calls between Lincoln and Beecher Falls.
Lincoln, Beecher Falls, Strat, it's been crazy. And we did ask the question to the Lincoln chief, which between Whitefield and us, we get called to go there, and it's because they know we have a crew. So I'll take that as a compliment. And they're gonna get some.
It's very highly of you to adjust.
These highway people.
For sure, for sure.
The. Big.
He showed that.
How's that?
All right, thank you. And from Eli, there is the father-daughter dance on February 15th. They are still soliciting or looking for women to join their ladies volleyball leagues on Monday nights, and men's basketball leagues will also be starting soon. So lots going on over at Carltown. That's it for department head updates. Next up is an appointment, Madison Gonier. Sure.
Well, that's before I pull it off the table. I'm not the most graceful. All right, so, all right. First, I just want to say thank you guys for letting me come talk to you, take up some of your time. I have a few questions now that my family and I have been able to move back into our home since the last overflow inside the house on Christmas Eve. I understand these questions may take some time to get some complete and full answers to, but the goal is to try to keep lines of communication open as we navigate the situation. So the first one is, what should the process be moving forward to replace some of the things that were damaged, mainly our washing machine and the freezer that we need to go about our day-to-day life. We want to replace it in kind if possible, and if we need to purchase them and bring in the receipt to you guys, what will the turnaround time on the reimbursement look like? Or is that something that you guys go out and would purchase and then that was number one. Number two, we have actually been in contact with a plumber to repair the cast iron sewer cleanout that was damaged during the incident by one of the members on the sewer department. The plumber indicated that the line may have to be dug up to the street connection. If that's the case, do you want us to hire a contractor for the site work, or will the town handle this? A conversation was had earlier on that it was up to us to find the plumber to do the work. We just want to confirm who the invoice should be submitted to and what the reimbursement time frame is. Also, number three is, when will we hear back about reimbursement for items which had been thrown out because of the last incident? We have not seen any official report aside from a list of items that were unsalvageable from Servpro or estimates that were provided. We just like to make sure that the value assigned is accurate and fair. Number four, will the town be contracting Stone Cipher for additional testing after the December 19th and 20th incident to determine if the contamination has spread further and deeper than 6 inches on our property? Knowing the volume of the sewage for that 24-hour overflow period was plentiful, we understand that there might be further mitigation efforts may result For example, you know, if it was to damage the driveway or clear back on. the thing. And then when we will, another one is reimbursement for the building materials that we need in order to replace the flooring that was contaminated in the basement that had to be discarded due to the overflow. We can't really put any of our stuff back in there until we can ensure that, one, this isn't gonna happen again, or two, we're gonna have to throw everything away again. So there was kind of like a half subfloor in there that was all damaged, contaminated, that needed to come out. As I am aware of the season, I do know that time frame is not ideal, and I know that this can take some time. I also know that it's cold and flu season, but we have two young children, and they have had to go to the doctors on multiple occasions. As a young family, the expenses on our end are adding up, and being out of our house on Christmas Eve through the holidays for a total of 18 nights has taken a financial toll on us using the laundromats, eating out. And although we do appreciate greatly the Airbnb and the emergency housing placement with some of our family friends, we've had to navigate a living arrangement that was not in our own home. We're really looking for a clear and consistent line of communication, outlining the process for us to become whole again. Well, this does not even begin to speak about having to disclose those incidents on our at our home if we ever tried to conduct a real estate transaction. So I'm just trying to understand clearly the pathway moving forward, family. And I know I rambled that very quickly, so
I want to thank you for being so clear and organized and writing everything. This is something that is, or as I was jotting it down, you already put this in writing to Jessica.
nope. So
So
this
I
is
capture it.
yeah. So I have it all written out because I know that you guys are probably gonna want copies of them in order to stay up with it all. So I can send that in an email to everybody.
Like I said, I highly encourage you, anytime you have questions, to go ahead and call. Just we get wound up in many issues, so she might not always initiate when you think she should, but if you have questions, feel free to call. Then you'll get an answer. Some of these answers, I'm not sure we do have an answer right now. But obviously, I would think that first and foremost, on the reimbursement for, can we have any direction on that?
The only thing I've received from ServPro at this point is not even an estimate, but simply a loss list. So I don't know if you've received more information from them.
Just that.
And that was just delivered today to me.
We had it the other day.
Obviously, with two young kids, washing machines down there.
Two young kids who have been sick at home for a week. Sick, not the cold sick. Of not having a washer and dryer. And I can always get that email out to you guys and
You know, Jessica, do you have a preference if that's just something she gives you with model numbers on?
Yeah, we need more information to move forward. As far as the business transaction, we process manifests every week. They take two signatures prior to releasing of the checks, so it can take 2 weeks at the.
is that something that you guys would prefer us to go get on our own, arrange for the delivery? Is that something that you guys do? I know that the model number and stuff was in list, so unless you want to get it back.
Your existing models is on that Lawson?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
helpful.
so it should be on there.
We have used staff time, so you may have heard, we requested for them to reach out to a plumber. because I was concerned about me bringing a plumber into a private residence, so she's done her part as far as is that concerned. I'm assuming we can use town staff time to remove the items and dispose of it and likely transport it, but we can work these things out, at another point in time. It's the needing the information.
So the biggest
in order
thing with
to move forward.
the biggest thing with the plumber is we won't know until he can get in there and do it. So he wouldn't come into the home until it was cleaned. Now that it's cleaned, we've been put on the schedule, but of course, they're all busy as well, so.
So if he's not gonna be able to tell whether the whole thing needs to be dug up,
Yeah, so I know that might have to wait. But the main question on that is who does the plumber invoice? Do they invoice us? We send it to you guys? Do they? You know what I'm saying?
It would be cleaner.
Ask for a reimbursement.
that's kind of what I was thinking, and
So that should be the same with the laundromat fee of all the clothes that needed to be laundered and cleaned from in the basement, as well as the dumpster fee. As well, question?
then. Make sure you keep all the invoices.
Yeah. Of course.
I think it would probably be cleaner and easier as far as the wash machine and stuff goes too.
And then we can just arrange the delivery for when somebody is. Yep. Absolutely. I think I'm
I
good.
guess the rest of this we need to work through.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
We have to.
Yeah.
They need to act like an INA.
You're the chair. Practice.
All right, next up. Next up, there are no public hearings this evening. We have a review of minutes for the January 5th, 2026, regular and non-public, regular minutes, please.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting on January 5th, 2026.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye.
And I also have the non-public meeting minutes from January 5th, 2026.
Make a motion to accept the non-public meeting minutes of January 5th as
Second.
presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, next up, signed various paperwork. We have the North Country Fire Mutual Aid Contract 2026. Chief Flynn, do you wish to add anything?
That's just a normal fee that we pay every year to belong to the insurance system. Which means if we receive mutual aid, we don't charge, or if we go mutual aid, we don't charge.
Did we receive any mutual aid this year?
We did. Maybe half a dozen.
Yeah. We also have a gravel tax warrant for AB Aggregates, lot R1, 006.
Can you explain to me a little more about that?
You signed one at the last meeting on his larger lot. I overlooked this one on his smaller lot that he didn't. He only excavated 100 yards, and it's only 2 cents
Okay, that's what I
per
was
cubic.
trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's silly.
You can have 1,000 yards and not have any tax.
It depends probably on what he's using it for and not for sale.
So is this an active gravel pit?
Well, this is up at Peckham.
Yeah.
The Peckham now owns it. This is,
another law.
he had multiple lots up there. He has like 4 or 5 lots, but he has to have a separate permit for each lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was, he didn't he didn't excavate a lot off of that lot, and I overlooked that one when he submitted the other
All right,
one, so.
stop.
Well, it does catch your eye when it's only $2.
We're just trying to understand.
Yep.
Yep.
And those will be the last ones from him anyway, because he
Yeah.
doesn't own it.
Right.
Thank you. Next up this evening for new business number one, draft of the town meeting warrant. I have in front of you in your packets, the most up-to-date draft warrant, including the zoning ordinance amendments for the first couple of articles. Please take a look through. We're going to be combining the town clerk and tax collector positions per new law.
Well, yeah, sort of. There's legislature well, just past the House and it's now in the Senate that I can't hold an elected town clerk position and an appointed tax collector position. So if it makes it all the way through, which it's ought to pass as far as the legislature is concerned, so this is to take care of that, so I can keep both parts of my job. It'll just be one. So what'll happen is this will get voted on this year. If it passes, then next year I'll have to run again as a combined one position.
Did the tax collector, town clerk association take a stand up?
Oh, yes, repeatedly. It's the other parts of the bill that is more important to them. So this part, and for the most part, if someone's holding the same position, they don't realize that they may not be combined. They just assume they're combined, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I hold both of them. They don't know that I'm not elected as one position.
Right.
Yeah.
Seems like a ridiculous change by the legislature.
It's one, agreed. I mean, because it wasn't a conflict for me to hold them separately before, so, yeah, but.
That's valid.
And it's not, the legislature was not just about that position. It was about any elected official holding any other appointed kind of board or committee or any role.
Yes. That is, yeah, so want me to go through it? Should we go through it one by one in case there's other questions? So lead service line, that's going to be for a bond through the state, loan for a 15-year term if it passes, which is the one where we will have so many years in order to finish the work and then it starts repayment. You're going to see in Article 7 on the second page, we've increased the contribution. Absolutely.
So this is, the one where we extended for a grant, where there would be a 60%?
66% loan forgiveness. Yep, and I have the percentage for the current rates downstairs.
Okay, and then, if for some reason we didn't receive that loan forgiveness fund, what would happen? Wasn't there a limited amount of money available for this?
We just,
Or like in a queue, and whether we get to the top of that?
we just got something from DES saying that we would get the 66% because we got it in 25 application.
Great,
First come, first served.
Right, and so for 2026, it would decrease to 61%.
so we should be high enough in the queue so that we get the funding if this is approved. Excellent, okay.
So we did ask the question whether or not they have anything. Again, the capital reserve funds, your normal reimburse the industrial development fund, reimburse to a contribution back to the police department's capital reserve fund. Again, we've been doing the work as far as the capital reserves for some record keeping. So you're going to see Articles 10 and 11 to include both buildings and equipment in case there's failures on either side. Article 12 is changing the agents to expend. So the cemetery committee, the cemetery trustees control our agents to expend for the cemetery trust fund. We want to bring the library trustees in line for the RSA for record keeping stuff. There is a dispatch service capital reserve, which we'd like to discontinue because it's been hanging out there, and instead use those monies in Article 14 to purchase mobile radios for Randy's fire trucks.
Are those about the same dollar amount?
It's 21,000 that's currently in the dispatch services capital reserve fund. It'll be 19,000 264 for the radio. So the rest of it will go into the unrestricted fund. The lease purchases for the items we've already spoken about, the tasers, the power pot, automatic CPR machine. We will be taking up paving later tonight, but we have a placeholder for that for Article 17.
I did look at the previous lease purchase articles that we've done. The language is the same as they have been in the past.
Oh, Charity, earlier, even though the title said lease purchase, it really didn't describe the purchase in the narrative itself. I wanted to make sure it was very clear that own these at the end of the lease. Thank you.
Appreciate it. You'll see Article 18 is to raise and appropriate $200,000 from the Sewer Enterprise Fund for emergency repairs to the sewer line from Mechanic Street to Hospital Road. We've also put in an emergency grant through USDA. If that doesn't go through, we'll be using those.
So question on 18.
Yes.
Hospital Road, is that the upper one or is it Brickyard Road?
My understanding is it was the
Well, the work is on Middle Street from Mechanic to Hospital Road. So I mean, how would you word it otherwise?
Right.
Hospital Road, it goes all the way through to Brickyard Road. But
You're talking the upper one where you turn in and go
The
into their
entrance.
park.
yes,
Okay.
Right.
Main entrance, let's call it, yeah.
I just want to make that plain, and when we discuss that, we need to make people aware that it's
Right.
all the way up the hill.
yeah, well, I'm hoping they'll understand that where it says that the sewer line on Middle Street. But you're right. I mean, who knows?
People don't even call that Hospital Road, they just think they're turning to the park.
Right. But officially it does have a name. Yeah.
Articles 19 through 25 are all the petitioned articles. And then you'll see Article 26 is to include the airport contribution in the operating budget. So this was the warrant article you guys requested last time. Another petitioned article, and then modified disabled veteran credit to bring it up in accordance with RSA 7235. Shane, back to your question regarding discontinuation of Old Groveton Road. This has been hanging out there since, I believe, 1957. So we're looking to do some work in order to clean up that road so that we are not on the hook for maintaining it.
Who did it revert?
The abutting landowner. So we have some due diligence as far as notification of the parties and making sure that they're
Will we have to resurvey it or anything? Will there be any costs?
There's nodes that are noted from the pines from the previous, that's just kind of been hanging out there and we need to reduce our liability and get
So
stuff.
we've been doing maintenance on it?
We have not. So
For a while, they used to use it for a picnic area. There were picnic tables and stuff there, but you can't even get back there. I think they blocked off where the old road was.
I think one of those letters actually had a note, handwritten note that said picnic or something on it.
Yeah, there was,
And it's blocked off, yeah.
yeah, you can't get in there now, but you used to be able to pull in there, pull off. There was a couple, 3 picnic tables up there.
So Article 13 is adopt a psychoactive substances ordinance. This is about sale and distribution of certain substances. Then you'll see our ordinances that we've been working on with Chief Woodworth for police. There's also one petition warrant article, Article 34 for social districts. So I just wanted to make mention of the number of public hearings that we have in place for the very near future. So I know that we've been doing lots of good work to review our ordinances and make sure that things are up to date with the intention of making them more accessible and visible to the public and being a little bit more transparent through our website. So because of all of these things, we now have like a slew of items to hear public hearings on. I would like to suggest that at our second meeting in February, we carve out that date for, I believe it's February 17th for these public hearings. We'll have public hearings on the stopping, standing, and parking ordinance, as well as the bicycle ordinance. Those two are under your purview to take action on. So if you wish to take action on them that evening, you certainly can. It does not need to go to town vote. The following 5 ordinances will need to be voted on during the warrant. So it's the noise and open container ordinance, disorderly actions ordinance, drug paraphernalia ordinance, the petition to warrant article for the social districts, and also the psychoactive substances ordinance. So we have a lot of work at this point in time to make sure that we're getting proper notices out and that we're making these visible on our website and in hard copy so people can consume this prior to that meeting. So if you're in agreement and we can do this on the 17th, I'm going to suggest that we have a little bit earlier of a timeline from that meeting, maybe like 6 o'clock, just due to the number of ordinances. 6 on the 17th?
Yeah.
Okay. And we will make that so. Thank you for hanging in there with me. 35 is a lot. Please, and that is it for new business. For old business this evening, you'll see the select board information sheet. So as you recall, we opened paving bids on December 1st. It resulted in Rusty calling the vendors to see what they projected for an increase in 2026 for costs. 2 of the 3 bidders verbally said a 5% increase and 1 bidder said no increase. So we provided you a breakdown of what those options are. Again, this is just for information at this point. I think we should wait to make sure that the articles pass during the town meeting, and then we'll go through. We want to give you an update, so that's why you're seeing in the up to 62.
Thank you for getting that information.
Here. That is it for old business this evening. Next up is select board member reports.
Not so much a selectman report, but as the EMD report. I have been monitoring the ice drill, and it is building. We have some sort of a dam downstream, and it's building ice. So it needs to be watched a little more carefully as we approach spring. It looked like it was starting to erode. But I think
Man, we're gonna miss those phone calls then in the middle of the night from those cameras.
oh,
I used to get calls at my house when I lived on Mechanic Street. The center ice in the Israel River is moving. The center ice at 2 o'clock in the morning. The center ice in the Israel River is moving. I'm like, this is weird. Tom, get up, take care of the ice.
That's my over. Some tanner.
So I know that you, as part of the hazard mitigation plan, it was to adopt that as well as a community wildfire prevention plan. So there was a conversation with North Country Council, and they brought in a specialist to speak about that. Whether or not this work is worth our effort at this point in time, it looks like it's like a 6-month process. And as you know, we've been awarded monies, or we're kind of in this holding pattern to get our grant countersigned to upgrade our emergency operations plan. So at least, you know, Shane's doing the good diligence of like making sure that we're continuing to look at a plan and assess where we are operationally. So that's
The report from you, Smith.
I think I'm good.
the September report. I did meet with Matt Tramer from the Lancaster Farmers Market, who provided me a card. The card reads, "Dear Town Manager Jessica and Lancaster Selectmen, the Lancaster Farmers Market appreciates being able to use Centennial Park to host our summer markets. Despite the many early spring rainy Saturdays, we had a successful year. Please accept this donation as a token of our appreciation," and they provided us a couple $100. So we thank them. Continuing to have conversations as far as their footprint in the park and setting them up for successful use of the facility for next summer. As I mentioned earlier, Brittany Cummings resigned from the Lancaster Housing Authority, and they will be meeting here January 29th for their regular quarterly meeting. The sidewalk plow was out of commission for a minute. An axle broke, which was about a $900 part, and the parts are continuing to increase in prices. They did have to use an alternate piece of equipment in order to clear the sidewalk. We know this is very cold, snowy, winter for us. I did receive a message from Reagan Bissonette from New Hampshire Recycles. You can recall that they sent out recycling magnets to everybody in town and mailers to folks last year. Phase 2 of their campaign has been extended through spring, but they wish to recap phase 1 with you. So they were looking for volunteers from the select board for attending a future date, potentially in early February. I said that I would do the due diligence in providing you this opportunity. If you feel so inclined, please let me know. We'll continue to work on dates. Wayfinding, I spoke wayfinding signage, and I spoke to Mike Moran with the Northern Forest Center, just an introductory, if there's an opportunity for us to assess wayfinding needs, if we even have those needs. So just a very introductory conversation. I received cold weather shelter funds training through Tri-County Community Action. And then on January 15th, I attended a New Hampshire Local Welfare Administrators Association, say that a few times, meeting. It was a training in Concord. Angela from Berlin was there. It was good to see everybody. Since our last meeting, I've had 8 welfare inquiries. 7 of those were for housing. I've received 3 completed applications and 2 are pending review, looking for more documentation. And 1 award has been made for the Lancaster. That is it for me. Next up, information, you'll see that there is a public hearing, combined meeting with the Lancaster Planning Board and the Lancaster Zoning Board of Adjustment. That is on Wednesday, January 28th, 2025. And that is for the purpose of reviewing the ordinance amendments. They're available on our website as well as hard copies. Next up, public comments.
Okay, whether you got anything they like to have? No. We're talking about like GMO here, the these. Yeah, you're nodding your head, and that's good, because then it's forgotten many times in the past, and we've had a problem.
We just checked it because of the raccoon situation. And we are working to put something on the end of it so it doesn't, whatever.
A screen of some sort.
Screen, yeah.
I actually I have that in my tickler file. And December 1st, Timmy gets a text message from me that says, is the valve closed? And May 1st, he gets a message that says, is the valve open?
Little thing, the church, fire, get about it, one thing else. Want to make sure it didn't happen.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, seeing none?
I would like to ask that we enter into non-public session RSA 91A32C, matters which, if discussed in public, would likely adversely affect the reputation of any person other than a member of the public body itself, unless such person requests an open meeting.
Okay. I will make that motion. All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye, roll call. Aye.
Not acting, Jim.
Motion, Leon.
She's got some training when she's on her.
All right.